Well, that was a tough one down in Milwaukee. The New York Knicks lose 108 to 119. The Bucks moved to 4-0 on the season. The New York Knicks moved to 3-2 on the season. The Knicks start this 7-game tough stretch with a loss, but hey, there was some good things in this game. First half was really a disaster for everybody, especially for RJ Barrett in that first half. Didn't really shoot the ball well again. Wind up waking up in that third quarter. I think he had about 13 points in the third quarter, if I'm not mistaken. Still can't hit a 3-point shot to save his life, right? 1 of 7 from three. I mean, tough shooting night from RJ, but he got to go in there in the third.
Yeah, it was rough first half, and like you said, some good things to take away from it. You know, Knicks got down by 24 at one point, and were able to storm back and make it a game. So yeah, just it was a tough one. The Bucks are just a really good team, and even though they didn't have their best stuff, I'm happy the Knicks made a game out of it.
Yeah, I'm happy the Knicks man to get out of it too. But yeah, there's still some concerning things that we're seeing. We're seeing some
Oh yeah,
trends now from especially Evan Fournier. We're seeing RJ Barrett is shooting really poorly to start this season. He's honestly a slow starter to start off season. So I'm just hoping he snaps out of this sooner rather than later because the Knicks really need his shot to start falling. Because if his shot isn't falling, I mean, his shot hasn't been falling and the Knicks have been winning, which has been surprising. But once his shots start to fall, I think it brings this team to a new level. And then obviously Evan Fournier in the starting lineup still because of Quentin Grimes is hurt still. Evan Fournier provides some shooting, but his defense again tonight, he was a turnstile on defense. He can't keep in front of his guy. We saw it in the first quarter, especially in the second quarter. His defense was not great. Yeah, Evan Fournier. I mean,
again, the Bucks just again as soon as they got on offense, it was usually they were going to pick on him or find a way to you know just take that advantage, and that's something that the Bucks do very well. They
yep,
like to match up their guys, and as soon as they see a mismatch, boom, they go right for it. And yeah, we miss Grimes. We need that 3 and D type of player, and we miss him sorely.
yeah, we do miss Grimes. Quentin Grimes, please get healthy and come back because we need your
Please.
defense in the starting lineup. But yeah, bench unit came in. Emmanuel quickly, great game. He played a great game. Came in the game. I wish he played more. I wish Thibodeau went to Emmanuel quickly sooner in that third quarter. It seemed like he stuck with the starters a little bit too long. Yeah, Emmanuel quickly came in the game. He dropped 14 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists. Efficient night for IQ, and he was playing really well on the defensive end. Emmanuel quickly has shown us this season and last season he's a good defender. I mean, he's an underrated good defender. People overlook his defense, but Emmanuel quickly came in the game and consistency, right, Chris? That's all we want to see from Emmanuel quickly, and he's been consistent now for the first 5 games, well, 4 games for the Knicks. He had that one bad game, but he's been consistent.
Yeah, and like you said, he's a pest on the defensive end. He had 3 steals tonight, which was fantastic, and he was just out there trying his best to get the Knicks, within striking distance in this game. So great game by IQ.
He had 3 steals. I didn't even. I mean, he had a couple of key shots too that the Knicks needed desperately his shooting, and he made a
Yeah,
couple of key shots in the game. Obi Toppin continues to shoot really well from three, 3 of 5 from downtown. I believe he is. Let me get this straight. Hold on. He's 8 of 15 from three this season. So he's showing you that he's has been working on his shot through the
yeah,
summer, and Obi Toppin has been shooting the ball really well this season. It's a surprise, but hey, how many minutes did he play? 16 minutes. I mean, you want to see that. You want to see that rise, especially tonight when Obi Toppin was again efficient. 4 of 7 from
yeah.
the field, 3 of 5 from three. 16 minutes, and I don't. He needs to play more, and Obi Toppin needs. Thibodeau has to find out ways to play Obi Toppin more. Like it just has to happen.
Yeah, it has to. I mean, he could have gave him 10 more minutes tonight easily. I mean, the way
Easily.
things were going at one point, when Dick's down 24, for instance, he could have got a lot more time. Especially shooting the way he was shooting. He's very active, and the energy is what we need from him. So um, I agree. Tibbs needs to play him
Yeah, he
even
needs
5 more minutes.
5 more. I mean, look, Julius Randle has been playing well up to tonight, right? First quarter, we saw bad Julius Randle and forcing it, turning the ball over a lot. Not a great game for Julius Randle. Picked it up a little bit in I believe it was the third quarter, but honestly, for the starting unit, it wasn't a great game for anybody except RJ Barrett, who was having a terrible game until he went on
Yeah.
that scoring barrage. And look, RJ was it was frustrating to watch in that first half, right, Chris? RJ Barrett.
Oh yeah. It
um,
just looks like he was just throwing up shots. He was so focused on the three that I don't know. It was tough to watch for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, he was focused. I mean, he looks like he's aiming his shot a little bit. Like it doesn't
Yeah.
look like he's shooting in rhythm, and it just was a bad first half for RJ. There was a point in that first half where the Knicks had a 4-on-1. It was RJ Barrett, Evan Fournier, Julius Randle, and Isaiah Hardenstein. 4-on-1 to come down the court. It was just a disaster. It was the worst 4-on-1 I've ever seen in my life as an NBA fan. Like I've never witnessed anything like it. But they come down the court, give the ball to RJ. He misses the little uh, baby jumper, and the Bucks take the lead by 8. And I think that was really a turning point from then because, look, that would have tied the game. It would have been a tie game. Knicks would have had all the momentum, and then, but then you go ahead and miss that shot. Then the Bucks hit, I believe, back-to-back threes at that point. Go up by 8, and that's pretty much all she wrote. So yeah, there's still some things to fix. It's a new look. It was iHeart, and on that specific play, I wanted Julius Randle to just take the ball, be aggressive, and just dunk it or either make the layup.
Right.
You're bigger than whoever was guarding you, and it was just awful.
Yeah, I think sometimes we see that a lot where they got the matchup, they got the mismatch, and they just either pump fake way too much or they hesitate, and they just blow it. It'll be nice to see them go up stronger than that.
It would be, but yeah, that was bad, man. That 4-on-1 was bad, and then Mitchell Robinson unfortunately got into foul trouble after he's been so good in that aspect. Got into foul trouble early on. Questionable calls against Giannis. This dude was just barreling in the lane, and the refs were calling everything on him early on in that game. And look, it's Giannis. He's an MVP. He's a superstar. I get it, but just some ticky tack foul calls that were being called on the Knicks, and it sucked because Mitchell Robinson got into foul trouble. And we've seen once Mitch gets into foul trouble, it messes up his rhythm throughout the game. And yeah, yeah.
Yeah, 100%. We needed him for this game, especially with Giannis and their, you know, Brook Lopez. Those two dudes are big dudes, and like you said, Giannis just gets every single call. But that's what we come to expect.
Yeah. Giannis shot 11 free throws tonight. Was that the most on the Bucks? Yeah, that was the most on the Bucks. Yeah, let's go through the box score. So yeah, starting lineup, like I said, it was a really tough game for especially Jalen Brunson we see if Jalen Brunson, he didn't really get it going in the Memphis game until the third quarter. Didn't get it. He couldn't really get a rhythm tonight. What's his name? Carter was all over him tonight, and it was just unfortunate to see Jalen Brunson have one of these games after the amazing game that he just had. But I'm not worried about JB. Um, he'll snap out of it.
Yeah, no, it was just one bad game, out of the bunch, and I'm sure he's gonna have plenty more great games than games like this. It just looked like Carter was up for the challenge and made JB's life as difficult as possible.
Yeah, he made him work. Carter, I believe he was on the Nets last season, and then he
Yeah,
got traded or he got released by the Nets. But he's a good defender. He was on JB all night. Um, so it led to Jalen Brunson having a bad game. Mark in the chat, can I ask how many threes were made by Giannis? He only made one, Mark. 1 out of 6. He's not a great 3-point shooter. When they're going in, it's pretty much night from there, right? If Giannis is hitting his threes, there's
yeah,
nothing you can do. He almost had a triple double tonight, 30 points, 14 rebounds, 9 assists. Giannis is a superstar. The Bucks are 4-0. They're missing like Chris Middleton, and they're still playing well. So Bucks are going to be a contender in the East. We knew this was going to be a tough game for the Knicks. It just sucks that they got down by, I believe, as much as 24 in that third quarter. The Bucks were just hitting everything, and the Knicks were not doing anything on the offense, and they were playing poor defense. And then the Knicks came back a little bit. That's when you saw R.J. Barrett start to get his shot rolling, and that's when you saw R.J. Barrett's confidence start to boost. Wish we would have seen that earlier in the game, but look,
right.
it is what it is. R.J. Barrett, 20 points, still hovering around that 20-point mark, 5 rebounds, 2 assists. Wasn't efficient, missed 3 of his free throws. You even saw Thibs extend his minutes there in the fourth quarter. He didn't take him out. I believe the whole third quarter, and then fourth quarter he started. So Thibs was riding him a little bit.
Yeah, and at that point, I think you just had to. He was hot. Finally, his shots were going down,
Yeah.
and he was being aggressive. And that's kind of what you want him to do. Maybe not start off a game shooting, 4 or 5 threes, but attack. Get it going from the inside, and then take your game to the outside after that.
Yeah, and tonight he missed a few easy ones. Seems like every night he misses a few easy ones, and it's frustrating to watch. It really is. But he made up for it in the third. I'm not gonna get on RJ too much, but yeah, let me sort of reset the room. Shout out to everyone watching. If you're on Facebook, Twitter, or YouTube, wherever you are, appreciate you. I'm Anthony from Knicks Nation. That's Chris. So yeah, Knicks lose 119 to 108. They fall to 3-2 on this young season. The next game is versus the Cleveland Cavaliers, and the Cavs just beat Boston. Donovan Mitchell's playing out of his mind right now. It's bitter for a lot of Knicks fans, but it is what it is. I'm sure that he's gonna want to come out on Sunday and
Oh
take it
yeah,
out on us. But that should be a good game because you think Jalen Brunson would want to take it out on him too. So it's gonna be cool seeing them go back and forth. Obviously, we've seen Jalen Brunson and Donovan Mitchell go back and forth in the playoffs when Jalen Brunson dropped, I believe, 40 points. But it's gonna be fun to watch.
yeah. I think it's going to be a really good game. I mean, considering Donovan was pretty much working out with a lot of these Knicks players, in the off season. So I think it's going to be pretty fun.
Yeah, it's gonna be a fun game. Yeah, let's get back to this game a little bit. Cam Reddish comes in the game, didn't do anything tonight. And it stinks because Cam Reddish has provided that spark off the bench, but couldn't really get a rhythm going tonight. It was just an off night altogether. Derrick Rose comes in, and he was actually hitting his shots, providing energy. And, yeah, Derrick Rose did what Derrick Rose does. Isaiah Hartenstein had to come in the game a little bit early because of Mitchell Robinson's foul trouble. And it seems like he never misses like those hook shots, right?
Yeah, those are almost automatic for him.
Yeah.
He should take a few more of those.
He should. I mean, you could tell he's worked. I mean, I don't know if that's his game, but it seems like he's not shooting threes anymore, like we saw in the preseason. He attempted 1 3 tonight, and it was like way off.
Yeah, it was really, really bad.
Yeah. So yeah.
Hopefully he gets that going because that's another key. I think if we can get Ihart to start hitting some threes, that only helps us even more stretch out the floor.
Yeah. That'll help us out tremendously. But yeah, he had to play with the starters most of the game due to Mitch's foul trouble. Once again, Obi, we need more minutes out of Obi Toppin. Efficient night from Obi Toppin, playing well, shooting well. He's actually getting after it on the defensive end. Tom Thibodeau, please give us more minutes from Obi Toppin. Sincerely, all Knicks fans, because we deserve it and we need it. This is now, what is this, year 3 of Obi Toppin or year 2?
I believe year
I
3.
think, yeah, this is now year 3 of Obi Toppin, and for him to be, they just extended his, they just gave him an extension, him and Emmanuel quickly. They picked up the 4th-year option, but we need to see Obi Toppin play more. We got to see it. Like, I don't understand. Like,
Yeah,
what do you think?
100%.
Why do you think Tibbs doesn't play Obi Toppin like that?
I don't know. I don't want to make it seem like, if he plays Obi Top and he performs well, then it's it puts him on the spotlight as far as who do you pick, Julius or Obi type of thing. But I have no clue. Um, he always says he wants to play, the players that help him win the games, and I think, Obi's definitely somebody, especially from what he's showing us early on with his improved jumper, that he should be somebody who helps us win games. But I don't know.
Yeah,
Tibbs is stubborn.
Tom Thibodeau is stubborn. We know that for a fact. Yeah, man, it's just like I said, it's frustrating, but especially when Julius Randle is not having it. Like, to me, if Thibodeau, if you recognize Julius Randle is not having a great game, and this is his first bad game of this young season, and you see Obi Toppin playing well, and you see him being efficient, you gotta play him more. Like, I don't care about Julius's ego. I don't care about any of that, and I'm sure Julius Randle now doesn't care about any of, like he said, he just wants to win. So
Right.
on any given night, if the best option is to play Obi Toppin more, you got to play Obi Toppin more. There should be no reason why he's playing 16 minutes in a blowout game for the most of the game, and he was efficient from 3, and we know he can provide. He can provide energy, and it just sinks, but it is what it is, right, Chris?
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't even tell you why. I mean, I didn't see anything glaring, that he did that would have made him, only get 16 minutes tonight. So it's a little it's frustrating, and hopefully that changes. Another 10 minutes, 5 minutes even I'll take at this point. Extra 5 minutes. Just let the kid play.
Let the kid play. On the Bucks side, obviously you had Giannis, Grayson Allen. Seems like he's grown into that Knicks killer, and it just
Always one.
there's always one 4 or 6 from. He's a good 3-point shooter. He's been a good 3-point shooter throughout his career. He's a dirty player, but he was killing the Knicks from 3 tonight. And Carter shot 4 of 11. Hill, Bobby Portis didn't. I mean, he provided energy for them.
Yeah.
Shout out to Bobby Portis, former Knick.
Yes.
Um,
Always shows up against us. Takes it personal.
Always. And then Knicks fans wanted Bobby Portis gone too. I remember that. They did not
Yeah.
like Portis when he was on this team. But yeah, Bucks are a good team. We knew this was going to be a hard test for the Knicks. I would say it was their second tough test on the young season. Close game in Milwaukee. Should have won that game. This game wasn't really that close. Wasn't really a contest for the Knicks, but they made it close. Then the Bucks just put the pedal to the metal, and that's all she wrote from this game. Look, tough stretch. You're at Cleveland, then you're coming back home versus the Hawks. You gotta at least split those two.
I
You
agree.
don't want to go on a 3-game losing streak after you went on a 3-game winning streak. This is a young season. Granted, it's the start of the season. This was the 5th game. Yeah, you have to split those two, and then you have even more tough tests coming up.
Yep. Like you said, two. Just take two of them, and it doesn't get any easier. But got to play
Yeah,
through the schedule.
yeah,
But if we
gotta,
take two, we'll be in good shape.
yeah. Let me just go through my notes here. Like I said, bad Rando came out in that first quarter. Julius, he had some good looks in that first quarter, but he was just missing open shots. And he was shooting threes. They were wide open. He was just missing. And that, I guess, snowballed into him forcing. And he had a bad first quarter, Julius Randle. IQ came in the game, hit some timely shots. Nice to see IQ be consistent. Giannis was unstoppable in that second quarter. He was doing everything on the defensive end,
Yeah.
offensively. There's no stopping. You can't stop Giannis. You just have to try to slow him down and try to slow the pace down. But he got bailed out by the refs a few times, and that kind of hurt the Knicks in terms of Mitchell Robinson getting in foul trouble.
Yep.
Shout out to iHeart. His float game is elite. I guess he wrote that down. The Bucks, they went on an 18-0 run in that third quarter, and they led by as much as 21 or 24, I think. It
I
was
think
in
it
the
was
20s.
24.
Yeah, they led as much as 24, and from then I think the game was out of reach. But then RJ Barrett started to get going. Knicks got some momentum, but they just couldn't get over that hump. Yeah, nice close out to the third, but in the fourth quarter, Knicks just lacked the energy. All in all, tough loss. Next game, like I said, at Cleveland versus Atlanta, at Philly versus Boston, at Minnesota. Yeah, you got to win some of these games coming up because you don't want to fall below 500. Um, yeah, I mean, tough loss, but it was expected. You didn't. I thought you called for a blowout, so
Yeah. It could have happened.
it could have happened. It could have happened, but it
It
didn't.
was
And
pretty close to the first two. I mean, granted, both teams weren't shooting great. Outside of like Giannis just bum rushing, the paint every single time. But um, yeah, we had a chance. It could have been a blowout.
I mean, they won by 11, so I guess you can consider that. I
Yeah,
mean, it's not a blowout, but yeah, I
yeah, they
mean,
definitely made it a game. I like that they fought back. I guess you can say the bench unit fought back, and it could have been a lot uglier than it was. But that's all we can ask for in a game like this. They battled. We could take some good along with all the bad, but it's good they didn't just pack it up and get blown out by like 45 or something.
in years past, they would have got blown up by like 45.
Oh yeah,
And most of that is due to the fact that RJ took over in the third. It, I mean, it's like RJ took over in the third, but they felt like empty stats, right? Like
yeah. It felt like where was this the first half?
yeah,
It's
that's what I was saying to myself too. Like, where was this in the first half? Where was this in the first quarter? Still, he had a three in that third. I thought his shot was gonna get going. He had a three in the corner that he missed.
yep,
That was really big because it would have cut the lead down even more. But yeah, when he finally kept going, I was like, okay, he has some rhythm now. But I just still felt like it was like empty stats. But wow, Julius had a double double, 14 points, 12 rebounds, but not efficient.
yeah. I felt like he had a. I mean, stat wise, he had a really decent game, but it was just inconsistent throughout the whole night. He couldn't really get anything going, along with most of the starters. And one thing I noticed, why was Evan Fournier handling the ball so much? I didn't understand that. It was weird to me. He just doesn't seem like he fits at times, and then he's handling the ball like a point guard. I thought that was just weird. While Brunson was out there, so what is that? What do you think?
It's weird because in the beginning of the game it seemed like they wanted to get Evan involved. They were running a lot of plays for Evan, and it was just like I felt it was weird too. Like, why is he handling? He handles the ball a lot. Whether that's due to the fact that I think Dibbs loves his shooting. Believe it or not, he's probably one of the Knicks' best shooters on the team. His defense stinks, we know that, but with he was actually shooting the ball well early on, and then it just fell off. I think IQ was
Yeah,
outplaying him, so he couldn't get back in the game. And I mean, but yeah, Evan Fournier should not be handling the ball like as much as he did. Like,
yeah.
I
I just
mean, you
felt
could,
that was kind of strange.
yeah, you could see he has no burst really, and his like if his shot isn't falling, there's no purpose of Evan. I hate to say it, but there's no purpose of Evan Fournier on our team, like or in the starting lineup. There really isn't. I mean,
No, I mean, if it's not a 3-point shot or a step back three, he's rushing in for a floater. That's pretty much his game, it seems.
yeah, and he's taking a lot of those floaters this season, and
Yeah,
he's shooting a lot of threes, and as he should, because that's what he's out there for, to hit threes. 3 of 7 from three. Was it? I mean, he shot 12 times, second most on the team. Yeah, second most on the team. To me, I don't think that should be happening. I don't. Jalen Brunson had an off game. So yeah, it was just like a snowball effect in that starting lineup. Brunson, Randall couldn't get it going, and with RJ Barrett struggling in that first quarter, second quarter, it was just a snowball effect down to Mitchell Robinson being in foul trouble. Once you have
yeah,
all of those things happen at once, it's really tough to get a momentum building and get a momentum going because look, at that point you got to put the bench in like really quick, right?
right.
And Thibs, sometimes he's slow to react. Um, he was slow to react tonight. Emmanuel quickly came in the game. He played really well. These guys, see, my problem with Thibs is if the bench unit plays well, reward them. You don't need to
Right.
go back to your starting lineup. You don't need to go back to your starting unit. Reward the bench, play quickly, play OB, ride them. Um, if
And
yeah, go ahead.
and you think he'd do that, considering if the starting unit has it going, he'll run them to the ground basically. So why not give the bench unit the same type of respect? They had it going, just leave them in there. I know quickly for the most part stayed in um when he started strong, but you know going back to Obi, leave Obi in there. He was playing well. Rose playing well. You know, RJ had it going. Yeah, leave him in. But yeah, that's pretty strange. I get it that your starters. They're, but like
They're
you
his
said, you gotta
guys.
ride bench. You gotta ride the high hands.
Yeah. And like I said earlier, Emmanuel quickly was elite on the offensive end, defensive end. He was elite tonight. No complaints from IQ, no complaints from Derrick Rose. They do what they do. Obi Toppin, no complaints. Just want to see more minutes. And I hope he gets asked that. Like, why are you playing Obi Toppin 16 minutes in a game where he's providing you a spark? He's shooting well, and we know what he can do. And his response is going to be, oh, we like Julius defending Giannis. We need more size. Julius is bigger. Um, it's frustrating.
It is.
Even I wanted Jericho to come in the game and get some time, right?
He came in for about a minute.
He
There
did.
was a Jericho sighting.
He
I saw
did,
the
but
throw. I got excited, and then he was gone.
yeah, I wanted Jericho should have got in the game earlier or should have played more, because he was riding I Heart a lot. And look, there's going to be a point where Isaiah Hartenstein burns out here because he's playing a lot of minutes.
I mean, he
And
was he was getting beat up tonight too.
yeah,
He was
um,
getting beat up in the paint, and yeah, Jericho came in and literally 1.1 minutes.
yeah, like I said earlier in the season, he's like him and Deuce McBride are like a break glass in case of emergency. If somebody gets hurt, that's when they're going to come in the game and play. But yeah, Jericho, we want to see tonight. He should have played more, especially with Mitchell Robinson in foul trouble. Him or Obi should have played more. Like
Yeah,
if Mitch is in foul
100%.
trouble, Obi Toppin should be playing 20 minutes. Like it's frustrating. I sound like a broken record on here. I feel like
Yeah,
I come on here and always harp on the fact that Obi Toppin's capped out at like 16 minutes a game. And yeah,
yeah.
but yeah,
Consistently 15 minutes too. It's like,
consistently, it's like he needs he needs Julius to either be injured or he needs Mitch to get or injured for him to play 25 minutes a game.
yeah, those are things we don't really want. We don't
Yeah,
want
we
to
don't
see
want
any
that.
injuries,
I don't want
but
that at all. Yeah,
yeah,
but
it's
yeah,
tough. It's, it's Tibbs.
it's dibs, that's for sure. But yeah, tough game. Knicks lose 108 to 119. Back at it on Sunday. They fall to 3-2 on the season. Um, some things we can build on tonight. Some things we can go back to the drawing board. Some things they can learn on. But yeah, shout out to y'all watching on Twitter, YouTube, or on Facebook. If you're on YouTube, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. Once again, I'm Anthony from Knicks Nation. That's Chris. Have a good night, and we'll see you on Sunday.
Peace.
Peace.